Mayor, another major police department controversy centers on former officer Patrick Rose. You released some of the records of past investigations into allegations of child sex abuse. But former police commissioner Paul Evans and your opponents that are running against you are pushing for the release of all the documents so the public can get a complete picture. Will you, and if you will, when?
So it is really important that we stay focused on how the police handled this case. And I have released the files that shed light on that issue. I will not jeopardize the identity of the survivors in this case. I will not re-victimize them or re-traumatize them in any way. I will continue to protect not only the identities of survivors, but ensure that the details of that abuse are not put out there in a way that could harm them or that could deter other victims of abuse from coming forward in the future.
But the former police commissioner, Paul Evans, says there is other information in the records that would not reveal the identity of the alleged victims, but that would give a more complete picture as to why he made the decisions that he did at the time. Do you disagree with what he says?
So what I would say is, in the short few weeks that I have been mayor, I have done more to shed light, to hold folks accountable, to ensure that there is transparency than any of my predecessors or anyone involved in that case over the last 26 years. And what is indefensible is that a police officer would be accused of abuse, that accusation would be sustained by the department, and yet that police officer would be allowed to continue in their job, often interviewing other victims of abuse, and then allegedly abused other children. It is outrageous, and it's indefensible.
As you look at the demographics of graduation rates, arrest rates, unemployment rates, the dichotomy between whites and people of color is unmistakable. So in 2021, I asked the question, is Boston still a racist city?
You know, we have a lot of work to do all across our country. And we see that as we continue to be bombarded with videos of people being killed, seeing all of the gaps that you point out in terms of unemployment or income inequality, certainly the wealth gap here in Boston. And we are doing that work. Again, in the short few weeks that I've been mayor, we have made some headway. We will continue to do this work. We have to do this work together. Dismantling racism isn't easy work, and it certainly is not going to resolve itself in just a few months. But it does require us to all come together and do this work.
But does Boston still deserve the title or the label of being racist?
You know, people can talk about reputations, they can talk about perceptions. What I care about is the reality. And so as mayor, my first priority is ensuring that we are addressing the many challenges and gaps that disproportionately impact poor people in our city, people of color in our city, and that is the work that I am focused on.
We're going to make a dramatic shift to this, but a lot is being made about your title. City Charter says that you are clearly the acting mayor, according to the charter. You refer to yourself as mayor. We refer to you as mayor right here on Channel 5. So your opponents claim, though, it's illegal for you to claim that title. Are they wrong? Are they right? What do you
listen, think? You know, there's too much work to do to be doing an act. I am doing the work. That is what I'm focused on, making sure that the residents of Boston are well served, that we are addressing the many challenges that are before us, creating opportunities for residents to come together to do this work with us. There is a lot at stake, but I continue to be encouraged because this is a great city. We have come a long way. We certainly have a lot more work to do, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to serve and to lead.
So you reject the title of acting mayor and just mayor?
I'm doing the work.
Well, Mayor Janey, thank you so much for your time this morning. We greatly appreciate you coming in.